Are you facing a divorce and worried about where you're going to live? Hi, I'm Mackenzie Sorich, founder of View Ridge Family Law and Estate Planning. And today I have with me mortgage expert Whitney Pauley, who's going to help answer some of the questions that people often face when they're getting ready to go through a divorce and they're dealing with home and mortgage issues. So Whitney, how do you figure out whether a person can afford the house after divorce?
Well, first of all, thank you, Mackenzie, so much for having me. Now, if we are trying to determine if one spouse can take over the mortgage on a property, we are going to be looking at it just as though they were trying to buy a new property. We're going to look at their debt to income ratio. That's going to be kind of the most important thing. We're going to look at how much money they make and then what those liabilities that they're responsible for. We're going to be looking at their credit report. And then we're going to, be determining, can they actually afford this house?
Okay, thank you. Now, say you've been a stay-at-home parent and you have limited job history and limited history of income. What do you do then?
Yeah, if you've been a stay-at-home parent, this is where things can get a little bit tricky. Let's say that you've been out of the workforce for a period of time and you're now entering back into it. We don't necessarily have to have a immediate 2-year work history. We just have to provide an explanation to why there were gaps of employment and what was happening during that period of time. If you've been out of the workforce for any period of time, you are likely going to be starting at a lower position than where you maybe ended or where you would be had you continued working that entire time. A lot of times we can pre-approve a person or get a person qualified for a mortgage if they're in a salaried position with just a simple offer letter, assuming that all conditions have been met. However, if you are starting and you're an hourly employee, we are going to have to show that you've consistently been working consistent hours. So we do want to see that consistency, not that you're working 20 hours one week, 40 hours the next, maybe 38, 36. We do want to see consistency within those hours.
Okay. So what are some of the biggest mistakes that you see people making when they're getting a divorce and they want to try and stay in the house?
Yeah, so the biggest mistake people make is not talking to somebody soon enough, right? Not getting your team in place, talking to your attorney, your financial planner, your mortgage and real estate professionals, right? We're here as a guidance to you as you go through this process, laying out the options so you can figure out what's going to work for you. If you're wondering, is it too early? Is it too soon? Well, you're still watching this video, so give us a call. Let's connect.
Thank you, Whitney. I've seen so many people deal with this big issue when they're going through a divorce. Everyone wants to know that they're going to be secure in their housing. And I can tell you from experience that the earlier you deal with the mortgage and housing question in your divorce, the better you're going to be feeling about the process and the easier it will make it to resolve all the other issues. So if you're ready for help on your divorce and mortgage process, just give us a call.